Welcome to our Puerto Rico renovation adventure. In this video, you are going to see us in our first ever home renovation project.
So let's dive right into the rainforest. Our property.
Oh my goodness.
Let the adventure begin.
This is our very first impression we had of the property, and oh my goodness. As we explored the property, we were greeted by a sea of weeds, dirtiness, and overgrowth.
Everything was just left here. There's just garbage everywhere.
And bugs. Lots of mosquitoes and cockroaches and spiders and termites everywhere.
Yeah, even though you can't really tell in the video, all the discoloration and brownish color on everything is actually a layer of dust, mixed with the dead bodies of 1 billion insects held together by hundreds of old spider webs. There were even giant huntsman spiders, which move at an alarming speed, by the way, but those parts have all been removed to make this video family friendly, so don't worry.
Yeah.
It's like a treasure trove of trash. But the view from the roof isn't so bad.
Love it or list it. What would you have done? Let us know in the comments.
Because we're tackling this renovation head on, starting with clearing out the weeds. And it's a jungle out here. Wow-wee. Thankfully, the roots were shallow, and I could just rip the weeds right out of the ground. Along the way, we found something like 20 chicken eggs and a lot of garbage. Hurry. Now we're on to the next section of our project here. We're going to be doing, we can't even see this area really well, but through these bars there's just jungle. It's part of the house. It's like a little inside garden area. We're gonna clean all this overgrowth. We had to get all this stuff out. Take a look at the whole room. I call this phase the throw stuff away phase, because we're throwing stuff away. It's like a treasure hunt, but instead of treasure, we're finding old clothing, moldy stuff, and tons of junk. What amazed me the most was the quantity of old rotting food in the kitchen. And of course, what goes along with rotting food is also cockroaches and ants and beetles.
The smell was so disgusting.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Ew. And let me just say right here that a lot of this video is going to be time-lapse footage of us fixing up the house. I think it is very satisfying to watch. We spent so long on this project and we didn't come close to filming everything, but even from the work we did film, we had to cut out like 80%. Alright, this is the last room that we were working on. This one is also has the most stuff and junk in it.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, can't touch it.
Here it comes. A giant pile of garbage. Look at that. Would you look at that? 2 piles, one for green waste and one for the dump. Wow. Now on to the roof repair. This took some time, so bear with me. The videos were taken spread out over more than a month, but you're seeing it all put together. We had to clean it up, rip up the old concrete, by hand no less, and chisel out a channel for water to run. It was a creative solution, if I do say so myself. The roof was leaking and water was dripping inside the house, causing all kinds of problems, including mold, which thrives in humid conditions. After I cleaned it up a little bit, I could see that this concrete was in no condition to be sealed. There was like poured concrete on top of the old concrete, and it was just not done right. And it was deteriorated. It had roots growing in between the old and new layers of concrete. And as you can see, I could just pull it up with my hands. It was like an inch thick, sometimes 2 inches in places. I think someone tried to level it out, but they did not do a good job. Thankfully, the old concrete was in solid condition. What you're seeing here is me chiseling out a channel for the water to run because of the slope issue, which caused water to pool on top. I came up with a clever solution to drain the water, and I ended up chiseling a gutter right down the middle, which is also how I knew that the old concrete was very solid. After it was cleaned and dried, we're ready to pour concrete and slope it at a correct slope for water drainage. Alright, today we are going to finally be fixing this roof in a more permanent manner. We're going to be putting some concrete down. It's just actually some mortar mix, and we will be protecting the rebar and sealing off some of the cracks. And so today, that's the project for today. Since it was my first time with this mix, I wanted to test out the concrete quality on this section here where the rebar is sticking out.
Very beautiful clouds. Notice the beautiful clouds in the time-lapse video.
I used a system of tacks and careful measuring to float the concrete so that it was at a correct slope in every spot of the roof so that the water would run off instead of pooling up. The gutter was a very creative way to save money on concrete, and it ended up working really well. Afterwards, we let it cure for 30 days, and then we painted it with a white waterproof sealer paint.
After that, Jonathan bug sprayed the whole house.
Okay, time to bug spray. We're going to be bug spraying this with a bifenthrin solution. And we had to spray the whole bottom and the top and basically everything to keep any pests out. This bug spray product from Home Depot came with a hand squirter applicator. And so I used the hand squirter to spray the bug spray. We bought 4 or 5 of these, and let me just say that after more than 1,000 reps of squeezing that trigger, I suddenly became left-handed. I mean, I thought my right hand was going to fall off. Here I'm using the sprayer to apply the bug spray. For the exposed wood, I actually treated that with a termite spray. This is actually me spraying bleach to remove the mold. These were the rooms that were leaking, so that's why they had such a humidity problem. And I also had to scrape off the mold. This was very hard work. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless you have to. Looking back, I feel like there must have been a better way, but I just scraped it by hand with a scraper. Here it's hard to see, but you're looking through plastic because I'm using a pressure washer to pressure wash the inside of the house in the back. I had this brilliant idea. Instead of scraping by hand, which was very hard work, I decided that we could just pressure wash the walls.
That was a terrible idea. What a mess. I was on water duty, which meant that I was sweeping up the water and dumping it out the back door.
Yeah, I agree. But it did remove some of the old moldy paint, and we still ended up doing the rest by hand anyway. Okay, today we are going to be priming the ceiling of this exposed wood
We're preparing it and priming it up. So you're going to see us probably shake away the cobwebs. We've already sprayed it for bugs and termites. Now we're just going to seal it up, paint it.
And finally, we are getting to the good part, painting. The most fun part, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, I'd say it's the most satisfying to watch, and it makes the most noticeable difference. The hardest part was painting the ceiling. We painted it on ladders, as you can see. Noelle is doing the edges, and I am painting with the roller, one square at a time.
As you can see, we are leaving the beams the original color for style. You can see our bananas ripening that we picked from our yard. We even had some friends come and help us. Thank you.
This ceiling is the tallest, so you can see that I am up on the big ladder to reach the ceiling. Climbing up and down this ladder to get paint was tiring and time-consuming. So that's what Noelle is doing here. She is so fast that it goes very smoothly. We finally found a better way by rolling the majority of the ceiling with a 10-foot pole. After doing the bathroom, I just did not like how slow it was, so we bought this big pole. Even though it was more physically exhausting, it was a lot faster. So overall, it was worth it. I still needed the ladder to get the edges.
Here I am painting the outside while Jonathan refills my paint and rests his arms after painting the inside ceiling.
Wow, look at Noelle go.
Here's a quick documentary video of the status of the house. Let's take a look. Got the tools, work stuff over here, suitcases still over there, bedroom still in the middle of the room. Got a little bit more space here to put stuff. We put the table over here, a lot more space to put stuff. Our cupboard space is still here. We got 2 fridges side by side, and stove here. Washing machine we finally moved inside, and some more storage over there. Kitchen cupboard, kitchen here. That was weird. That was weird. And then we got more cupboard space here and a microwave inside.
Now I'm painting the kitchen, cutting in and then rolling. Wow, it's crazy how much of a difference the paint made in the back room. Look at that.
In preparation for painting the floor, we had to clean it a lot because it was very dirty. Mop, 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 mop. Mop, 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 mop.
Now we're ready to paint the bedroom, finally!
It looks like we made a little mess.
Oops.
Noelle is cutting in and I am painting. Noelle cuts in. I paint. Noelle paints. And now, the living room. Noelle cuts in. I paint. Noelle is cutting in really fast, and I am still painting. Oh, and did I mention the animal encounters? We've got giant lizards everywhere, and I couldn't help but chase this one down and catch it.
We even rescued a kitten.
Okay, take a look at these eyes. They're literally glowing green, and he's snapping, trying to escape. They're literally green. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Rooster. We called this the Parade of Chickens. This happened every single day at 6 p.m.
Yeah, Rooster, bring along the hens. Yes. Nice. Go, fly into the tree. Yeah, got it. Join your friends. Woohoo! They're like all in there.
Also, we found a hermit crab, a big one.
Oh, bird.
This is the conch that we encountered in the ocean.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a big boy.
Okay.
Wow.
Looks like we're gonna have to do those dishes again.
Yeah, it's okay.
You just slap dishes with a conch.
Whoa, you really got him.
A tarantula. It's a small Puerto Rican tarantula.
While working outside, I found a Puerto Rican racer snake, which is allegedly venomous.
Front entrance.
Here are the before and after pictures.
Water accumulates here.
Yeah, man. Way to go. Good job. Yeah, now. That's good.
Before and after.
Way to go. Woohoo.
That looks great.
Wow. Wow.
Amazing.
After painting, we decided to be done with this never-ending project and decided that it was good enough as is.